progression in boxing is that we finally get something that may be a little bit more justifiable to you. Your man, your boy Jake Paul is finally fighting someone a little bit more credible, like Tommy Fury, who would be who is the younger brother of the heavyweight champion of the world currently, Tyson Fury. What's your thoughts on this now since this has been announced?
I'm not going to crap on this fight because this is something that we've been saying, hey, this needs to happen. He needs to fight a boxer. Of course, he'll never fight an elite level boxer at this stage of his career. But for anybody to take him seriously as he's like, oh, I could fight Canelo. I could beat Canelo. Da, da, da. He needs to start working his way up the ranks. Tommy Fury, as his first real test against somebody who's actually boxed more than once, is good. This is a good rookie level fight, opening entry level curtain jerker fight. Of course, they're going to main event the pay-per-view, but because it's Showtime. But what I'm saying is just, hey, this is the right path for Jake Paul, and quite frankly, this is the right path for Tommy Fury as well, because he's a guy who just beats up bums and beats up guys with. I saw a record for Tommy Fury. His combined 7 opponents have a record of like 14 and 100 or something losses.
What? What?
Oh my God.
So the dude is fighting jobbers.
Jeez.
He's fighting jobbers.
But at the same time, I'm not really up. It doesn't really I put it like this, to some extent it doesn't bother me too much, only because it's not like it's not like this was like, it wasn't like he just got called up to fight for a championship.
Right.
He's fighting, he's in the early stages, like someone like Canelo, for instance, right? We love and praise Canelo, but when Canelo fought Floyd, he was like 40-0. Couldn't name one of the 40 fighters that he fought. And more than likely the record, it might have been probably 20 to 1,000 probably was the combined record for those 40. So
I don't understand, in the realm of corruption protection, that you have to pad the record a little bit, and that's part of the protection part. And I just feel like the fight between Jake and Tommy is the best fight for Jake. Is the best fight for Tommy. Hey, finally, we're going to see what's going on. And hopefully the undercard is going to be more of a spot fest with other circus performers on there too, trying to prove that they're boxers. So shouts out to this fight. I'm not mad at it. And nope, I'm not paying for it.
Well, why this is actually I have a theory why these two are actually really fighting, and it has nothing to do with Tommy Fury's record.
What's your theory?
Well, Tommy Fury, like he was boxing because I looked him up and I was reading on him. Like he had boxed at one point, but stopped to do a reality TV show called Love Island. And
wow, really?
Yeah, and him and his date came in second place on the show. So a lot of that I think has to do with like, I think a lot of, I haven't watched Love Island, but I believe they said it was the 5th season.
He's from the UK, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I'm not sure what part of the UK they're from, but like, I'm sure it was some UK version of the show. Love Island, long story short, these young people, they get together on an island. They meet.
Oh, you watch it?
Stay on the island. One of my exes used to watch it, yeah.
Oh,
and I watched it with her a couple times.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
The truth didn't come out. I watched the show.
So you're our insider.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I'm the Love Island insider. Hey, look, I already said I like Love Is Blind, so I mean that shouldn't be some surprise. Whatever.
That was a good Eve song.
That is a good Eve song, though. I heard that song a lot when I was younger on the radio.
Yeah, it's bro.
God, man.
Crazy Eve song. What?
So did
my
you
boyfriend? What was it? Never mind. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lau.
No, I was gonna ask. So do you think that Clarissa Shields' love for being undefeated blinded her and her loss in her first MMA loss?
The transition, man. The transition. You gotta love it, yo. I think she was blind. I think Love Is Blind because she didn't see it coming. I definitely tell you that much. She I mean, I think there's something that that has to finally be said about this, man. That 0 on your record means nothing at the end of the day. Because at the end, when it's all said and done, granted, we have someone like Floyd that has
I was gonna
perpetuates
say,
that perpetuates like this whole having an O on your record. But let's be honest, if you're fighting the highest level of talent, people remember you for fighting the best level of talent that you can fight, right? And in this situation for Clarissa Shields, it's a little different because she's still starting out in her professional MMA career.
right.
So
Well,
I don't expect her to fight like the highest level of talent, but I'm glad. I think it's good that she lost because she'll be able to learn more from it.
well, the way I see it is, it's like this, right? Like at the end of the day, this isn't her like original sport. You know, she's kind of
Right.
like, you know, coming into the sport, you know, and pretty new to it. Excuse me. My thing is this, right? Herschel Walker was in a similar situation. He came over, he got a win over somebody that wasn't well known, and then he ended up losing a few of his next fights and whatever.
No, nope. Herschel Walker, he was 2-0, never lost, and he
Okay.
retired 2-0. Yeah, Herschel Walker.
Correct him, yo.
Yeah. Herschel Walker never lost a fight. What Herschel Walker got away with was he was fighting guys who were 0-1, 0-2. So that's how he was able. But it's not. I don't fault him for that because Herschel Walker is not a MMA fighter. He was a 50-year-old fucking man fighting at one of the top MMA organizations in the world.
Well, I guess my point, I guess to say it is this, right? Like, I don't really expect them to be fighting people who are like overly skilled, and if they lose or have fights where they're not looking the best, it's not really that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna expect an MMA fighter to go over and just be boxing and become world champion either. I mean, I just don't. You know, so I mean, shouts out to Clarissa Shields for still giving it a try. You know, a loss is going to be part of the process, probably for a lot of people who would do this.
The Clarissa Shields thing, first of all, shouts out to her because she's undefeated in the boxing and she wanted to make the transitions. And she was saying on Ariel Hawani's show that, hey, what made me go to MMA is the fact that I know that if I fought Amanda Nunes, she would choke me out. No matter how hard I would try, I know she would go out there and just choke me out. So that's why I want to do MMA, so I could do my best to make sure that she doesn't choke me out. And I thought that was very ambitious of her because she's doing something that a lot of these boxers will never ever do, which is come over to mixed martial arts. Now, granted, some that has to do with money because if you're fucking, Floyd, hey, you're guaranteed to make 9 figures off of one fight. Why are you coming to MMA where Dana is only going to pay you, at best, Dana, he'll cough you up $10 million. No, I'm the whole fucking show. So no, I'm not coming over there. So I understand that for the big time boxers. But Clarissa, even though she's one of the, you could arguably say the best female boxer today, she's not making millions of dollars off of just boxing. She alone. So she's coming over MMA. She's getting that extra paycheck. And the bigger that she gets, her MMA money might eclipse her boxing money. Because in boxing, let's face it, in female boxing, nobody talks about female boxing like that unless you're a boxing purist. So for Clarissa to come over, she gets a lot of respect. And her losing wasn't even that bad of a loss. It was a split decision.
Right.
The
Right.
young lady that beat her, she didn't do a whole lot. She took her down, held her down there, control position. She did enough so the ref wouldn't stop it. That's it. Like it wasn't like she beat Clarissa up to a pulp. She was leaking. It wasn't like that. You seen that she didn't want to trade with Clarissa on the feet. Clarissa was cracking her lips, making the corner, gave the young lady some chapstick. So it was just, I felt like it's like, good job, Clarissa. Yes, you lost. Now learn from it, and hopefully in your third MMA fight, you're become a lot better from whatever you're going to learn and with your camp at the gym and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think she will. Like I said, I think a loss isn't a bad thing, man. Like a loss isn't a bad thing, and like you said, it's not her primary sport when it's all said and done. If this was like her primary sport, then it's a whole nother conversation. But when it's all said and done, she'll more than likely learn more from this loss, like you said. Like she'll learn more from this loss and then come back even better. But it's nothing to be like super upset about. Like this is literally someone we're watching prepare themselves for what ideally what seems to be their desired fight, which would be Amanda Nunes. So like now I think her actually being an MMA fighter, it'll help her, I think, from the technical standpoint of actually fighting her. But I think in terms of like the quality of stock or the demand for the fight, I think that may diminish depending on the performance that Clarissa Shields is providing us in her fights. But I mean, that's only from her. Only thing that changes that is if, depending on, like you said, you take a loss, you learn from it, and it's like you're very early on, and we all, like we said, we all know she's doing this to eventually, hopefully, fight Amanda Nunes. So, or if not her, if it becomes somebody else that comes after Amanda, like we just never know when it comes to MMA. So it's like, hey, it is what it is. Now the main thing is when she's learning from this, hopefully it doesn't pull her back too much, because I believe she has a boxing event coming up sometime, or she'll have a boxing event probably coming up in her next bout, if anything. So, but I don't know. I at the end of the day, I think she'll be fine. She'll be fine when it's all said and done. Can knock someone for a loss or not, but too many people, more often than not, people are more likely scared to go in and do another sport, like you said. Like a lot of her contemporaries would be way too afraid to do something like this.
Yeah.
So